The universe is a place of grand beauty, but it is also a graveyard of unimaginable power. For billions of years, our solar system has been a sanctuary of stability. The planets dance in perfect, predictable orbits, anchored by the steady hand of our sun. But what if that peace was shattered in an instant? What if a phantom from the deep cosmos, a black hole, entered our neighborhood tomorrow? It wouldn't arrive with a flash of light or a roar of thunder. It would arrive as a silent, invisible killer, bending the stars themselves before it even crosses the orbit of Pluto. Imagine a monster with the mass of 10 suns, packed into a sphere the size of a small city. This is a stellar mass black hole. As it crosses the Kuiper Belt, the first signs of its arrival wouldn't be visual, they would be gravitational. The Oort cloud, a shell of icy debris surrounding our system, would be thrown into total disarray. Millions of comets would be jerked from their trillion neural paths. Some would be hurled into the void of interstellar space. But thousands more would be flung inward, toward the sun, toward Earth, creating a cosmic rain of ice and fire by the time the black hole reaches the outer planets. The laws of physics as we know them begin to melt. Neptune and Uranus, the ice giants, are the first to feel the tidal forces. Their atmospheres, vast oceans of methane and ammonia, would be stripped away, spiraling toward the black hole's event horizon like water down a drain. These planets wouldn't just be moved. They would be dismantled. The rings of Saturn would be pulverized, drawn into a new glowing accretion disk around the intruder. From Earth, our telescopes would see a ring of fire appearing in the outer darkness. A halo of superheated gas and dust that screams with X-ray radiation as the black hole moves closer. It begins to play a tug-of-war with our sun. Two of the most powerful forces in the system are now locked in a death spiral. This is where time itself begins to break. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, gravity warps time. Near the black hole, minutes for an observer on Earth would stretch into hours. If you were watching the inner planets from the edge of the black hole's influence, you would see the Earth spinning like a top, its seasons passing in seconds. The sky would look like a kaleidoscope of blue shifted light as the universe outside, the black hole's reach, appears to speed up. But for us on the ground, the horror is physical. The tides are no longer controlled by our moon. As the black hole enters the inner solar system, the Earth's crust begins to groan. The tidal forces, the difference in gravity between the side of the Earth facing the black hole and the side facing away, becomes so strong they pull at the very tectonic plates. Oceans would rise into mountains of water kilometers high, swallowing coastlines in minutes. Volcanoes, dormant for millennia, would erupt simultaneously as the planet's core is squeezed like an orange. This is the beginning of the end. We aren't just losing our place in the galaxy. We are losing our reality. The orbit of Earth is no longer a circle. It is a chaotic, jagged spiral. As the black hole passes the distance of the moon, our satellite is the first to go. It doesn't just hit us. It is pulverized by tidal forces, turning into a ring of debris that glows with the reflected light of a dying sun. But the most terrifying phenomenon is yet to come. It's called spaghettification, or the noodle effect. As the Earth approaches the event horizon, the gravity at your feet becomes exponentially stronger than the gravity at your head. You wouldn't just fall. You would be stretched. Every atom in your body, every brick in every building, and every drop of water in the ocean would be elongated into thin, Glowing ribbons of matter dot the atmosphere is stripped away in a heartbeat, leaving the planet a naked, cooling rock before it is finally shredded. But here, the physics of time dilation reaches its peak. From your perspective, as you are drawn into the abyss, the universe behind you seems to accelerate. You would see the entire future of the solar system play out in a flash of light. You would see the sun turn into a red giant and then a white dwarf, all while you are suspended in the eternal now of the black hole's gravity. For a distant observer, you would appear to freeze at the edge of the event horizon, turning redder and redder until you fade into nothingness. But for you, the journey into the singularity is just beginning. What lies beyond the event horizon? Some theories suggest a bridge to another universe, a wormhole. Others suggest that information is never lost, and we are simply encoded into the two-dimensional surface of the black hole. But in this scenario, there is no survival. There is only the redistribution of our atoms into the accretion disk of a new master. The sun, our life giver for 5 billion years, is eventually consumed. Its hydrogen and helium are twisted into a blinding jet of radiation that shoots out from the black hole's poles. Visible from across the Milky Way, the solar system, once a vibrant cradle of life, is now a graveyard of cold, dark orbits and a single, massive predator resting in the center. The silence is absolute. No more radio waves, no more light, no more what-ifs. We were a brief spark in the cosmic dark, extinguished by a force we only began to understand when it was already too late. But the most haunting thought isn't the destruction itself. It's the realization that in the vastness of space, this happens all the time. Somewhere, a star is being eaten. Somewhere, a world is ending. And somewhere, someone is asking the same question we are now. We look at the stars and feel small, but we never truly grasp how fragile our sanctuary is. Our entire history, every war, every love, every discovery is just a thin layer of dust on a rock that can be erased by a single gravitational hiccup. We live on the edge of a cosmic cliff, and tomorrow, the wind might just blow a little too hard. But before you lose hope, you have to remember, the universe doesn't hate us. It just follows its own cold, beautiful rules. And those rules dictate that every beginning has an end. Just like every end leads back to the question, what if a black hole entered our solar system tomorrow?